you go up Deer Park on Wednesday night?
No, I'm going to start this Wednesday coming.
Okay, I'll probably catch you up there then.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay. High school car.
Years ago, there was one on Sunrise Highway in East Carlisle. It was all tubbed out, caged, and everything.
Yeah, talking about that Vega. I had one of those Vegas when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I had an after-school job. And there was a girl that worked there that lived in the same town, and her husband was, you know, heavily into cars. And I had a Vega, 72 green, Hunter green, one of like 5 or 6 Vegas that I had. And I puked the motor on it, finally died. And the thing was solid as a rock, one of the good ones. And I wanted to put an 8-cylinder in there. And she said to me, she walked up to me one day and she says, you know, my husband has the hooker headers and the engine mounts for the front and the tranny mount, if you need them. So I didn't have much money. I was in, high school working part-time. So I said to her, how much? He goes, oh, you can have them. I go, really? She goes, yeah, just swing by the house anytime. I'll give you, my address. Come by, you can have them. Like, okay. And I went over there, and the guy had a mint set of headers. They didn't even have rust on them. The hooker multi-piece headers. I think each header was 3 or 4 pieces, if I remember. Holy crap, you talk about the hardest headers I've ever done in my life. And it was the mounts that hooked to the front of the block, like the Corvettes used, and then it went on top of the rails. And the tranny mount was just like a 1.5 by 1.5 inch tube, but like angle iron on it. That's the kit they sold. And I wound up building a small block Chevy with tunnel ram on it. I got a stick for the car, and I got myself a Pontiac Ria that somebody already had in a Vega. At 390s, and it wasn't a Posse, it was what the hell they call it? Detroit locker in it. It's actually pretty cool. And came with a set of ladder bars on it too. So I put them in there, put the ladder bars on it, just the way it came. And it's actually a nice setup. And I was just talking to that guy because they were saying that he says he can't get the car to hook up, and he wants to put slicks on it. And I was saying to the people standing there, I was like, the second you put slicks on a Vega without a roll bar, the windshield's going to split straight across. I said, I've already had it happen. And I look at that Vega. Vegas were rat boxes. So being that car was 40 years old, 41 years old, that was 73. You could see the areas where the work had been done on the inner fender wells, which is a structural part of a Vega. The upper parts of it were changed. You look down in the cowl and you can see the bottom of the cowl had disintegrated a little bit, and work done there. But other than that, the car was actually a nice car. It had mounts on it that mounted to the original location. They were like perches that came up, and they had some kind of shorty headers on there that barely fit, but they fit. And I know my car, they came out the side of the car at a 45-degree angle. So those are the cars that you would see the exhaust pipe, the flange would only be like 2 inches inside the rocker on a 45. So you would see the pipe come outside the car and do a U and then go back under. These were just shorty headers. He had an exhaust main. He had like, they look like single chamber mufflers on there. Motor didn't sound too radical. But yeah, brings back memories. And I wound up taking that motor out deep tuning it, which I should have just put a new motor at the time. I wound up killing the compression down, the flat tops, and I wound up taking out the radical cam and just putting, at the time, an Edelbrock Performer on it. I left the tunnel ram on it and I put in my 69 step side. And then the tunnel ram came off because it was utterly useless. And I sold the shell to like a father and son deal. And you know, and we're going back a while now. We're going back like 30 years. And I remember the father coming to buy the son a car they could build together. And he wound up buying it, taking it, and that was it. Man, I only got $500 for the shell back then. But that was good money back then. All the money was in the motor. So still had the slicks on the back. I had what you call it? I had M&H Race Masters on the back is what I had on it. So as back then people said they were bold truck tires. But they're pretty cool. Had slots in the back, slots in the front. Still left the 4 lugs up front. Had 5 lugs in the back. And I had custom windows in the car on the sides. My brother was into window frosting. He was into glass etching and window frosting. One side had Jerry Mouse from Tom and Jerry waving the checkered flag, which is cool. The other side had Jerry Mouse holding out a piece of cheese, which is really cool. And the back window had a Chevy symbol going down into, you know, infinity, like it was 3-dimensional coming at you. And the name he put on the car in the windows was Mousetrap. And my mistake was I left all the glass in the car and I sold it. I should have never. But you live and learn. You live and learn. I was just a kid. I was just a kid. And actually, my first car ever was a Vega. I was given a Vega. I was given a set of Vega keys from my brother on Christmas. I was 13 years old. He thought it'd be a wise move to buy me a car. So he bought some Vega from some guy he knew for $50. You talk about crop duster. Holy shit. That one was a 71, I think it was. And that was my first paint job too. Me and my other brother sanded it down. I shot at 76 Corvette yellow with lacquer. And that was a sight. But yeah, the good old days. The good old days. Then my brother had a 70 or 71 Nova. Small block in it. And N50s on the back with 411s. He hands me the keys as he's moving to Florida for the first time. He says, do whatever you want with the car. I just turned 14. He goes, do whatever you want with it. Drive it, sell it, whatever you do. He goes, if you sell it, just give me the money. If not, hold it forever for all I care. That was his words. So my answer to it was, let's see how long of a burnout I can do in front of the house at 14 years old and not have my father kill me. The burnout was long, but the ass kicking was even longer.